everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ansley. And today I'm going to be talking through my summer TBR, spring TBR, basically just my TBR for the next couple months because summer reading is upon us. Spring has sprung and spring reading is happening, and I basically just compiled some piles of books that I want to get read this summer. This is definitely not all of the books that I will be reading this summer. Hopefully I will be reading more than this, cross your fingers, but these are the ones that I want to focus on and make a point to read. So yeah, let's get into it. The first book that I'm going to be talking about, starting off strong, we have It by Stephen King. I want to read this book this summer so bad because I feel like I can't say that I'm a Stephen King fan without reading this book. I know a lot of people hate this book, a lot of people love this book. It is like 1,100 pages, which is absolutely crazy. I think it's going to take me like an entire month to read this. I did the math, and if I want to finish it in a month, I need to read like 37 pages a day, which is a lot, but I think I can do it. And I think I want to do it in June, hopefully, because I want to film a reading vlog, so we'll be looking out for that reading vlog. Next, continuing the theme that we have, Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I wanted to read this book for so long. Also, I have the movie cover. I know, I'm upset about it, but basically this book, the new movie just came out for this book recently, within the past few months, and I just found like a really cool old edition of it that I posted in my last book haul, and I just want to read it. I feel like Salem's Lot and It are like two big main Stephen King books, and I feel embarrassed not having read either of them, so I would love to read this book. Continuing the theme, we have The Tommyknockers by Stephen King. This book is huge. I think it's like 860-ish pages. It's huge. But this book really intrigues me. The story of this book really intrigues me. I think it's about these woods that you see, and then there's aliens, I believe. It says on the back, it says, late last night and the night before, Tommyknockers knocking at the door. I don't know. This just seems really interesting to me, and I feel like this Stephen King book isn't as talked about as some of his other ones. I think it would be a huge accomplishment reading this entire thing, and I would love to have it read. I feel like I would love for this to be one of my favorite books by him because the synopsis and what it's about really intrigues me, and it could be a fun read. Okay, switching it up, I have Night Road by Kristen Hanna. This book, I had this book for a long time. This is the only Kristen Hanna book I have. Kristen, sorry, I said Christian. This is the only Kristen Hanna book I have. I have FOMO, basically, to be completely honest with you. Everyone is reading The Nightingale, everyone's reading The Woman by Kristen Hanna, and I have not read either of those, and I don't know if I like her writing it, so I'm not going to get any more until I read this. I think it was Haley Pham who I saw read this. I saw somebody on YouTube read this, and it sounded really interesting, so I got it. I would just like to read this and see if I like Kristen Hanna as an author, see if I like her books. It's super short, and it says, lives come down to a series of choices. To hold on, to let go, to forget, to forgive. Which road will you take? And I think it's about siblings, and it just follows different siblings. It sounded really, really interesting to me, so we'll see. Hopefully it's not sad, because that would be very sad for me. Okay, next we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I really want to read this book because R.F. Kuang, I feel like she's such a famous author right now. Her books are so, critically acclaimed. Also, Stephen King has a review on the front of this book, which is so cool. But she wrote Babel. R.F. Kuang wrote Babel, and she's written the Poppy War trilogy and all that stuff, and I feel like this would be the easiest one for me to get into, because if I'm not mistaken, this is about, it says, white lies, dark humor, and deadly consequences. Basically, what I think this book is about is there's there's these two authors that are friends, I believe, and one of them dies, and then the other author steals the dead author's manuscript and passes it off as her own. I believe that's what this is about, It looks it's really short, which is great. But that sounds interesting. I've heard that it's really funny. So hopefully we'll read this. Also, it's yellow like sunshine. So it's perfect for the summer. Okay, next, this one's kind of random, but it's The Quarry Girls by Jess Lowry. I got this book on Black Friday. It's super short. It's a little thriller. The reason I want to read this book is because it literally takes place during the summer in Minnesota 1977, and it says their sworn secret is the first clue. So it's giving like a quarry, a group of friends, teenagers, summer, there's a secret, someone's dead, who did it, like that's what it's giving me. And I just read reviews that said that this was really great for summer. And it's short, and I think I'm gonna need short books to get me through all of these long, sad books. So yeah, we have The Quarry Girls. Then, okay, this book, I'm trying to get through all of the Riley Sager books that I have, because I have almost all of them, and I've only read The House Across the Lake, which was okay for me. I gave it like 3 stars, and then the Survive the Night was the other one I read, which I did enjoy that one. But this is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. First of all, take a second for the cover. I love the cover of this book. I think it's stunning. I believe this is about a little boy that goes missing at Ethan Marsh. He goes missing on his bicycle, and they have to find him. I've heard mixed reviews about this book, but I've also heard mixed reviews about all of his books, so I'm not really sure. But it's short, and his books, his writing style is very easy for me to get into and read really fast. So again, it's like kind of a palate cleanser. Speaking of Riley Sager, we have The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This book, I really wanted to read this last summer and I just didn't get to it, but this is about, it says 2 truths and a lie. This occurs at a summer camp. It's at Camp Nightingale, and it says, but the games ended the night Emma sleepily watched the others sneak out of the cabin into the darkness. The last she or anyone saw of them was Vivian closing the cabin door, hushing Emma with a finger pressed to her lips. So basically, it's like this girl sees these camp counselors leave into the darkness of the woods, and where'd they go? What's going on with that kind of thing? It sounds interesting. It's short. Again, his writing is very easy to just absorb and read, and yeah, it'll be like a palate cleanser. Hopefully I get to this because I really wanted to read it last summer, and hopefully it's good. I've heard that also it's so floppy. I've heard that people like this one. Okay, next we have Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. This book has interested me a lot. Basically, everyone I've seen read this book and review it has given it an incredible rating, and it says, there was someone in the house, home alone with her young children during a blizzard. A mother tucks her son back into bed in the middle of the night. Then she hears a noise. Old houses are always making some kind of noise, but this sound is disturbingly familiar. It's the tread of footsteps, unusually heavy and slow, coming up the stairs. In that split second, she has 3 choices. Should she hide, should she run, or should she fight? That sounds so interesting to me, and I love books where it's like you have to make a choice and the characters have to make a choice, and I love just watching it or reading it and seeing if I agree with the choices that these characters are making, because obviously I've never been in this situation before. But yeah, it just seems really interesting, and I've seen so many people review it and really like it. Also, Karen Slaughter has a review on the back, and I love Karen Slaughter books, so hopefully I'll read this and love it. Okay, next, this one is on this list purely because of vibes. It is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I got this at a used bookstore, and the cover of this book is so rainy. It's like a rainy island. Basically, it says, The Guest List, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid, all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. So basically, it's like a whodunit at an Irish wedding on this rainy, deserted island. It's really short. This book was really popular on Book Talk a while ago, and I just never read it, but it's giving me like Daisy Darker vibes. It's giving me just Agatha Christie, whodunit, fun summer, read in one sitting kind of vibes, which I really, really like. And hopefully I love it. It's super short. Again, it's just like a palate cleanser book. But the vibes of this made me really want to read it. So hopefully I like it. I have also heard mixed reviews about this one. Okay, next, really, really switching it up, I have the Summer I Turned Pretty series. This book, okay, so there's the Summer I Turned Pretty. Let me show you these. The Summer I Turned Pretty. And then I believe it's Not Summer Without You. And then We'll Always Have Summer. I might have gotten the order. Wrong. But I know this book is first, Summer I Turned Pretty. These books, so my sister read these books a long, long time ago, and she read them in like one day, and she said that they're just so easy to read and absorb and all that stuff. Also, this summer is a Summer I Turned Pretty summer. The last season of the TV show is coming out this summer, and everyone is like putting in their votes for like Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah or all that stuff, and I'm avoiding spoilers like the plague. I've seen like the first 3 episodes of the first season, and I really enjoyed it, but I was like, I don't want to watch this until I read these books. And they are like YA, young adult, like cute little rom-com books, and I think that if I don't read them this summer, I never will. And that sounds so stupid and horrible, but I think if I don't read them this summer, I'm not going to read them, like, in all honesty. And I think they're just so easy to get through. Like, even reading like little lines from this book, I think they will be very easy for me to read in like one sitting or something. And I really just want to get the story and read them and watch the entire show, because there is 3 seasons and the last one's coming out, and I am kind of excited about it. Okay, next, continuing the young adult, this is Summer's Edge by Dana Melly. This is a pretty book cover. I like it. I got this book, literally it's on this list because the name has summer in it. But I've had this book for a really long time. This was like a Barnes & Noble YA book club pick, so I was like, okay, sounds interesting. It's also short. I feel like it would be really easy to get through. And when I was looking at this book, I turned to like a random page. I love just turning to a random page and reading just a random quote. Usually I turn to page 90 and I will read page 90, and don't do this because you can get so spoiled, but I will like turn to page 90 and I was like, ooh. I saw how short the little chapters were, and I was like, okay. But I was turning to a random page, and they had like this conversation about Stephen King, and I saw Stephen King's name, and I was like, I'm getting it. And now I really need to read it, because this is going to be a Stephen King summer. It's going to be an It summer, It 2017. Oh my gosh, don't even talk to me about that movie, because that movie was on my Letterboxd top 4 for years. And I just recently took it off, and I really want to put it back on because I love that movie so much, and this is an It summer. Anyway, basically, okay, the back of this book, let me read it to you. It says, here are my rules. 1, you may run. 2, you may hide. 3, you may apologize. Oh, who are we kidding? None of you think you've done anything wrong. 4, you may attempt to escape. 5, but you will not. Emily Joyner was inseparable from the others. Yeah, so basically Emily's dead, it says in the synopsis. So basically, like, there's this murder. I'm not going to try to explain this book because I really don't know, which is why I want to read it. I think there's just this murder, this set of rules, who did it, who done it, kids during the summer. So we're going to read it. Okay, then we have another book series. It's still in the box. This is We Were Liars and Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. Again, my sister read these books. She gave this book like 6 stars. She thought it was amazing. And this is the sequel. Basically, this is the prequel. It says prequel. Also, this book, this is a box set. I got these together. This book is like all shiny and this book is matte. Anyway, it really bugs me. I know that this book was very, very popular on Book Talk. And I've seen a lot of people read it, but I don't think I've seen it as much as other books. But every time I've seen someone review this book, it's been like 5 stars. Like, they've absolutely loved it. And the TV show is coming out soon. I keep seeing videos of like the cast for this TV show, and the cast is amazing. And basically the back says, if anyone asks you how it ends, just lie. We are the Sinclairs. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know, except that some of us are liars. And it seems really interesting to me, like a family of liars. Also, I love this cover. I think this cover is stunning. It is so summer. And then this cover, also stunning. I think it is so summer too. I really just want to read about like a toxic family. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to read this and then watch the TV show. I don't know if there's a third book. I don't think that there is, but there might be. I don't think there's a third book. I'll have to look into that. I think it's only these two. But I love a duology. I'm so excited. And then the last book on my summer TBR. Also, I want to stress, I will probably read different books this summer. Like, I will probably read like books that aren't on this list, but these books are the ones that I really, really want to get to. We have The Resort by Sarah Och. I don't know how you say that. Basically, this is a book of the month book from February 2024. So I've had this for over a year. And when I got this, it was like summertime. Summer reading was beginning. People were getting their summer books. And I remember getting this and thinking it was kind of like giving the White Lotus vibes, which I think it does. It says she thought it was the perfect getaway. And then it says it was a vacation to kill for. And then the inside says, welcome to paradise. We hope you survive your stay. There are 3 rules to follow during a vacation at the famous Koh Sang Resort. 1, leave the past behind. 2, always be careful who you trust. And 3, if someone discovers who you really are, run. So, also, the dust jacket is covering, the book is blue and yellow, which does not match the dust jacket at all. Anyway, this book is so summery. Look at how stunning. Like, I just want to read this at a resort, like at the beach. I want to read this. But I've heard some mixed reviews. I've never heard anyone really love this book, which makes me nervous. I think it was Gabby Reeds who read it and said that, I think she DNF'd it because she said there was so many characters being introduced and it was just not written very well. And I know some people in my personal life that have read it and said that they don't really love it. But I really want to give it a chance before I like rehome it. Because it feels like the perfect summer read. If this book is good, it feels like the perfect summer read. So I'm going to give it a chance and we will see. Okay, so those are all the books that I want to read this summer. Let me see if I can I have 2 stacks here, 2 ginormous stacks. This is the first stack. Oh my goodness. Okay, whoa. And then, okay, let's make 3 stacks. Then we have this stack. Okay, wow. Okay, where do I even put it? And then we have this, okay, this stack with all my Stephen King books. I think the Stephen King books are like my first priority because I really want to get those read this summer. But I hope you enjoyed my summer TBR. Follow along because I will be making reading vlogs for quite a few of these books, which will be so exciting. And make sure to follow my TikTok and my Instagram for more like up-to-date updates on my reading and reading updates. And I gotta go read my April TBR because April is almost over and the TBR is struggling. But I will see you guys next week. Bye!